Hello everyone, welcome to FA channel. We're here to explore, learn every magical experience of art, technology, and creativity. In today's episode, I tried a new experiment that I interviewed one of my favorite artists, Nava Waxman, in the VRChat. Because recently, as a contemporary artist, she just started to dive into the virtuality. We had a great conversation about how she opened up this new space and what kind of possibilities she sees as a contemporary artist. I love the way how she described the virtual reality world and the real world. And I've filmed her before for the 30-second film artist and one of the 360 studio visit. If you're interested, you can also take a look before you listen to her talk. In this channel, I want to help more people like me and Nava who are really interested in new things and curious about what other possibilities are out there. Yeah, let's dive in right now. Yeah, now you're in front of this big photography. It looks really cool.
Yeah. So should I begin?
Yes, please.
Oh, my name is Nava,
Yeah.
and I'm a multidisciplinary artist who lives and works here in Toronto. I'm an educator and a researcher, and my practice is situated in between media. I'm working with traditional methods of such as painting and drawing, but I also work with the camera and digital choreography and screen dance work.
Yeah, I've done, let me turn this camera. I've done a couple of videos for Nava before, and the video, I'll put a link underneath the video. Nava have so many great works and with
Thank
different
you.
kind of format and practice. So Nava, when did you start using, like, exploring virtuality?
Well, it has been a month so far
Mhm.
that I entered into this new world that right now I really feel like, without getting into any conclusions, I'm overwhelmed by the possibilities of that this technology can engender in terms of my practice.
So when you first time go into virtuality, how do you feel?
Well, first, it is a visual experience that we're not accustomed to. Um, our experience in the real world, whether we are outside in the real space or when we are looking at images on the screen on the computer, or even like when you go to a cinema, which of course we didn't go to see a movie for quite some time now, but what I'm trying to say is that the first thing that comes to me is that I am witnessing a visual experience, an immersive visual experience that I'm not familiar with. And that by itself was overwhelming.
Hmm.
Um,
And as a contemporary artist who like practicing art in so many different format, did you see a huge potential in this space? Like, how do you feel this open up a door?
so, yeah, definitely this experience brought a lot of questions and insights about my art practice, because what I've been interested up so far is, how our performative events are mediated through the virtual, and how we are living in a time where our reality, real space-time is mediated, and it's been challenged by complexity of virtual mediation, and what it means, the real space-time, when it's been documented, where we're not there. And especially during the pandemic, I was thinking a lot about how our notion of real space-time has changed, because everything that we do is being mediated to the virtual, our meetings, our our leisure, our gatherings, the rituals. So, you know, that the past year was already kind of a very fertile ground
Mhm.
for me to understand what this technology, this realm can offer.
Do you find this like the interaction in the virtual world, how it affects you with your daily life?
Well, I have to say that I'm still not able to spend too much time on it
Mhm.
because I'm also thinking about what that means in terms of my real life, you know, because it really sharpened the perspective about your real experience outside the virtual all of a sudden. Like naturally, always when you have another experience to compare, so you have that kind of a sense of how it really it's just how it feels. So I noticed that I am observing or I'm paying attention to my real tactile experience in life in a totally different way. Because because of this virtual world. It's still very alien for me, especially in terms of like interface, because the VR has a totally different interface with anything that we are familiar with.
Mhm.
How you move in between worlds, um, so the movement from one place to another, from one world to another, as well as like communicating with the outside world with people, is still very new to me. So I think I'm at that stage of just observing and trying to have the liberty to just, even if I get lost,
Yeah.
or even if I get lost in a situation where I don't really understand what I'm supposed to do. But everything is also very interesting. I mean, how I hear, how I sense my body, location of my body in space in relation to other things, and all kind of things. I mean, it's still right at the beginning, so there's a lot to take in. But this
Yes.
is, I would say, maybe the first impressions or the first thing that went through my mind when I started to go through the virtual.
Did you meet some friends in the VR chat?
Um, I met few people, like last night, for example, out of nowhere. I thought maybe I'm just going to go for a gathering. There was a summit, like a gathering of people like-minded who's working with technology
Mhm.
and art and the VR and creating worlds. And each of these people come from different places around the world and wanted to share what their interests, how they see the potential for their
Mhm.
practice, for their work in the virtual. So it was very, very interesting where we were all gathered together around some circle in an open space. And it was really a real conversation, even though we are all avatars, but it felt
Yeah.
really real. And I think last night has been the first time where actually I felt a sense of community, where I'm there and I'm
Wow.
actually listening. So the content was so the content of that meeting was less about the virtual, it's more about like communication, talking
Mhm.
and sharing experiences. So which I really appreciated very much.
Wow, that's amazing. And then you said that's the first time you feel this community feeling. Doo. Let's try this.
Yeah, I mean, there's other places that I would like to visit, but that was the first time that I felt that it actually provided a space for like-minded to get together and share their excitement, their contemplations. It could be like, even like, for example, there was a nurse there. There's a nurse there who's working with patients with trauma, and she has been thinking, how can she provide that space for healing through the virtual. So
Wow.
it just show you how diverse the interests
Yes.
are. But at the same time, it show you that the real world is inseparable from this beautiful, magical virtual world. It's
Yes.
inseparable. It's supposed to merge together. It's not a substitute, but it has some things to offer to make the real world maybe a better world,
Yeah, I
maybe.
absolutely believe that. I think it's definitely useful in so many ways because I've been reading articles about virtuality help with training and then healing mental health so many ways. But as artists, do you see like the for the contemporary art practice in the future, there's like a huge potential, right? Even though
Yeah,
now we're still observing,
definitely.
but for me, it's more about like how the scale of like, for example, this space. The scale of this space is like it's really hard in the real life to be in a space like this, but it's very inspiring to feel
Yeah.
the existence in this kind of space.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to change the art world, but it's going to change the world. But I also think that it goes hand in hand with what are we experiencing right now. We've been going through a year where we're isolated from one another. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the potential to go to experience real space
Mm-hmm.
time. So I think that the past year is definitely kind of an experience that really generate even further interest in this VR world. I don't know how, because art is a diverse thing, and each artist and everyone has a different expectations, perceptions, aesthetics, context, subject that we explore. And so I think in this is also where we're going to see a diversity of ways, like ways of people how they use this virtual world.
Hmm.
Um, which so it doesn't really matter how further I would go with this world. I always think that I will appreciate the working with hands and the real space time and
Mm-hmm.
creation in real space time. And I think for me as an artist, with all the excitement and even I would say the epiphany, many epiphanies that comes through
Yeah.
this exploration, I'm hoping that I will be able to maintain, or maybe to be a little bit critic about it,
Right.
like
You know what?
to experience and then ask the questions and
Yeah.
then continue to follow. Would you like
True.
to go outside? I really like it outside.
Yeah, let's go take a look. And while I'm
Yeah, it's an open.
while I'm talking with you, I was just imagining if I can at the same time show your work in this space. That will be
Oh, that
really
would be
amazing.
super.
Yeah. These
Because
lights are
I have a video.
yes,
I have a
you can
video on my website.
maybe eventually you can show your work in the virtual world and everyone can come visit.
So that experience also, like the architectural space, and I'm asking myself the questions, where are you? I'm asking myself the question, how I feel, like how the movement feels to me to move from one place to another.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now to get into this beautiful open space where I can just go.
Yes, this is like I think
I'm
this
going
is
to
like
change the color of the world.
okay.
What do you feel like? Let's take
I like
I think I'm
purple.
supposed to. How do you
Gray.
click? Oh,
You just go
but it doesn't let
in.
me.
I think you
You need
just
to
click.
touch it?
Yeah. When you get closer, you can click on it.
Ooh.
Ooh, pink. You
Pink is
choose.
always good because it's positive.
Yes. Do you find it, Nava? Do you find it strange to like talk with me, like interview, because we can't really see each other's like in reality? But I feel like I can see through you just through the avatar. It's very interesting.
Well, it's interesting. It's an interesting question because it's basically to ask, what kind of how. how we experience one another. What is this communication? What is the what kind of a what kind of a communication is happening right now between you and I, where we're not seeing one another? But also, it's a bit different because we know each other in real life.
Yes, that's
So
true.
we already have a previous
Perception.
knowledge of who we are.
Yeah.
And so when I talk, or when you talk, or when you laugh, I can see you're laughing. Like I can see when your eyes are getting shrinked when you laugh. I can see
True.
your hair. I can sense, because I know you. But what about us meeting people, human, that we don't know, and we are only we see them through this virtual appearance, or like an avatar.
Right.
We can hear their voice. So is the voice is something that can help us to get the sense of who are the people in front of us.
Yes.
um
And some people
and
even change their voice when they're in the VR world. That they're
yeah,
completely
some people change their
disguised.
voice, which
Yeah.
I think that this is also something that I'm excited about, the experience that can arise from, you know the possibility of dematerialize yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
experience, allow yourself to gain multiple identities,
I
and
love your
that's okay to
movement.
have multiple identities.
Yeah, I
But
love
I also
your.
wanted to say, I don't know if you see me in the virtual world, in the video, but I didn't put too much time and effort to create my own avatar, but rather I just found something that was there
Yeah, I like it.
because I just
I
wanted
think
to enter. But it's
it's very cool.
but I didn't. I'm not. I wasn't really thinking too much, but just put something on me and came out. But
Yeah.
I do know that there are a lot of people do take the time um, to create their own avatars and to create their own
Mm-hmm.
representations in this virtual world. And I think that that's something that it's very interesting, because you provide a space for human, regardless gender, race, identity. It
Yes.
doesn't really matter. And that by itself is just a wonderful, wonderful thing, to provide space,
Yes.
to be able to claim the space, to get the space to create worlds.
So
Um,
you were talking about that you
yeah,
have a new show coming up in when?
yeah. In October, I am
October.
actually going to, yes, and it's going to be part of Nuit Blanche,
Do you find an
and
inspiration from the virtual world?
well, ideally, I'm thinking, we're still not sure what's going to happen in October, whether, even though the installation that I'm working on is going to be outdoor in public space, so
Mm-hmm.
people will be able to be outside and safely, but no one really knows what's going to happen. But I'm definitely thinking about the potential of be able to screen the real space through the virtual, so
Cool.
people around the world, even if they can be in Toronto that night and really be in that space, because this is going to be an immersive, large scale projection that's going to work on multiple buildings and architectural elements in that space. So
Yes.
there's a sense of scale. So I'm thinking it would be lovely if I can actually adapt the whole installation into virtual and allow people outside, like around the world, to be able to enter and virtually being in that space and experience. So there is a
Yes.
potential.
Looking forward. I'm
Thanks.
clapping. Clapping. No
And I'm also
sounds,
looking
but
forward to continue. I'm also looking forward to continue, like, exploring with you. Like, I
yes.
really I love this kind of an ongoing dialogue that we have with new things and new contemplations and new features and new incidents that happen, and trying to figure out what it means and how to move around it. And I think that's
Totally.
this is really great.
Yeah, we'll continue doing this conference because I'm sure in maybe half a year or a couple months we'll grow the our experience will get like more interesting and we know more about the virtual world, I think something will come up in our mind, maybe collaboration or anything that we can do. Are you sitting down in at home or you're standing up? I'm just curious.
Right now I'm standing and I'm moving from one side to another,
I love
and I can
it.
even move my head. Um, and and now I can move around, but also there is the places where you can actually dance Tai Chi, and you are in the middle
Oh,
of like a beautiful like nature, and you can move around, you can hear the birds. It's actually quite interesting.
cool.
Again, nothing like the real world, but I
Yes.
think it really provide an alternative.
And I hope we can do it again.
I would love to.
Hmm.
We can experience different topics together,
Yes, sounds good. I love to. We
so we
can
can
go.
go and try new things.
Yes, maybe when you after we go some parties or
Yeah,
music festival. Fun, cool. Okay,
fun. Let's dance.
love it, love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay, that's it
Thank you
for
so
today.
much.
Thank you. I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. I love how she danced in the space and interpreted the space as a visual artist. I'm really curious about how you guys feel. What do you think is the connection between the virtual space and the real world? There's so much conversation that can happen about this topic, and I want to continue explore and keep the conversation going. If you're interested, please comment on our video down below. And that's it for today's video. I hope you really enjoy it. Please subscribe our channel for future contents. If you have any suggestions on the future topic, also can give us a shout. We're always here for you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.